Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing all right? All right, all right, all right, all right. Everybody all right? Thank you for your patience on this Thursday morning. Thank you for your patience on this Thursday morning. We're going to go ahead and get into this roll call, both on all three platforms to see where we are. Look at here, look at here, look at here. My main man, DeAndre Richardson, made it up to the first in the building, holding it down for the fellas. What's going on? Appreciate you, sir. Number 2, Miss Narissa Sanders, God bless you this morning. Number 2 in. Number 3 in our top 5 is Miss Desiree Wright. God bless you. God bless you. Number 4 in is Miss Monifa Angle. God bless you. Looky. And number 5 in, she might say, you might have kicked me out the first spot, but you ain't kicked me out the top 5. Miss Valerie Benjamin. Valerie Benjamin, God bless you this morning. IG, let's see what God is doing in IG. Miss Barbara, God bless you this morning. St. Louis representing early, first in. Miss Good Girl Ghana, number 2. St. Louis representing. Kevy, God bless you. Third in today, God bless you. Queen KWP, what up, Kim? God bless you, woman of God. Number 4 in. Good morning to you, Kevy. Lady of Distinction, Miss Ohana, number 5 in. Good morning to you, dear. Good morning to you, Ebony. God bless you. Good morning to you. God bless you. Miss Joy, God bless you, woman of God. God bless you this morning. Shinwei, God bless you. God bless you this morning. God bless you this morning. I pray, God bless you. That platform, God bless you. Simply Brit. Hey, Brittany, how you doing, girl? God bless you. Mama, I made it. That's right. Miss Celeste, God bless you this morning. God bless you this morning. All right. IG is waking up and joining. Facebook is here. Instagram is here. YouTube is here. Everybody's here. The gang's all here. We're ready to go. Let's get this roll call done. If you'll just bear with me, I like to speak to my family. I'm sorry. I like to speak to my family. Shanidra Talford, good morning to you. Chris Meredith, good morning to you. Sable Michelle, good morning to you. Miss Tramika Taylor, good morning to you. Miss Noelle Allen, good morning to you. Shinwei, good morning again. Val, good morning. Deborah Holmes, good morning to you. Miss Tanya Simpson, good morning to you. Rosa Collins, good morning to you. Narissa, good morning again. Shantika Cook, good morning, family. Hannah Parker, good morning, dear. Gloria Gray, good morning to you, woman of God. Tara White, hey, family. Bishop Alfred Long, good morning to you. Thelma Smith Foundation, South Branch, good morning to you. Blessings to you and your platform and your business and your work that you're doing in our community. Miss Melissa Summers, good morning to you. Blessings to you, woman of God. Renee Steele, good morning to you, dear. DeAndre says, I appreciate you and your time a lot more. Wow, appreciate you, man of God. Thank you. Reagan Dennis, good morning to you. Pastor Bates, good morning to you, sir. Ramy JL, good morning to you, dear. Mr. Rufus, how you doing? Whitley Bates, good morning to you. Miss Wileen, good morning to you. Adama, good morning to you. Miss Angela, I see you join. Good morning to you. Dez, I see you join. Good morning to you. We ready to go. Day 4, almost through a week. I've been saying day 4, but it's really day 6. Day 4. We ready to go today, man. We ready to go. I'm excited. Let me see if I can get this. To act right, to do right. It's really me. It ain't it. It's really me. DJ always say, you always fumbling with that mic. Can't help it. That's what preachers do. So let's go. Day 4 today, man. I came in the studio today, y'all, and my media team's like, "Ooh, you and the Lord had a good talk last night." That's what I get for coming home off of a great service. If y'all missed our midweek last night, you should have been in the building. What an amazing worship experience. Okay, DeAndre, go ahead and name this day then. I'm still pumped too, Des. That was crazy, right? Thank y'all for the tags. Thank y'all for, okay, 2 things I want to do. We're going to take the time to do it too. I'm sorry. We're going to take the time to do it. First, Pastor Bates says we got a birthday. Come on now. Miss Whitley, one of our momentors, birthday is today. Miss Whitley Bates. Whitley Bates. Let's wish, let's give birthday wishes. Come on, y'all. Turn that thing around. Show some love. Whitley Bates has been on our line pretty consistently here. That's family. Come on. Let me see some birthday balloons. Let me see some hearts. Let me see some birthday wishes go out to this beautiful soul. And then DeAndre says, let's go ahead and name this day. Turn it around Thursday. Hey, April. Hey, Jamal. Shauna, good morning. Simone, good morning. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Miss Kim, there you go. Thank you. Denaya, thank you. Come on, there it is. I love it. There it is. Instagram is giving you love too, Whitley Bates. Instagram is blowing up with love too. Yes, sir. We love it. Miss Lena Cofield, God bless you this morning. Teresa McCoy, God bless you this morning. Blessings, Apostle. We truly appreciate all your spiritual work in the community. Thanks for having an awesome ministry. Irish Christian Ministries International, the reach that show the love and compassion to all those who step on the grounds of your ministry. We are witnesses of the love. God bless you. Thank you so much. What a wonderful comment. I thank God for you. I love it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Y'all loving on. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Soul was crazy, wasn't it, DeAndre? Woo! It was bananas last night. Y'all got to get in the building one Wednesday. You got to make it to the building. It's online, doesn't do it justice. If you don't have anything to do on Wednesday night, you got to make it your business to get here. And some of you who are watching me online from other states, you got to make it your business. Take a weekend. Come to the grounds. Experience this thing in person. I promise you it will bless your life. Okay, let's get into this thing. I know our time is spent, but it's well spent as it relates to the love we're showing to each other. And part of that was on me as it relates to getting us here started a little late. But we're going to get into it. Day 4, man. Day 4. Day 4. I want to just do something today. Today I'm just going to really, not just going to, but I'm going to walk through a text, and I've got a couple points of the text, but it's really about kind of walking through the text and making sure we understand kind of how God is looking at this thing as it relates to testing. We're still in our series, Tested. This is Morning Momentum for those of you who are peeking in, stopping through. Testimony Thursday, I like that. Jamal says, must be experienced. It must be experienced. Man, can't be explained. I love it. I love it. Testimony Thursday. Tackle them Thursday. Take it to another level Thursday. I like that, Lady Long. Take it to another level Thursday. Just making sure I ain't missing no other. I rode home in silence last night with clarity on my mind. That's right. That's right. Sometimes you just got to stop and think. Thinking is worship too, ain't it? I'm learning that. You want to hear the response from people, but sometimes moments cause people to reflect, to introspect, or to have introspect. Hey, Elena. God bless you. Hey, Harriet. So we understanding that. This tested thing, man. We in this series tested. Tested. Everything that is anything must be tested. Anything that is going to be anything greater must be tested. Anything that anybody has future plans for must be tested. Yeah. You know, it must happen, right? And so I want you to understand that. Let me do this. I want you to understand that. Go with me, those of you got your phones, following along or writing it down, Matthew 25. Matthew 25. Chris, I know you're doing a lot, but Matthew 25. And I want to walk through this. This is a series. This is a parable. This is probably a parable that all of us have heard. Parable that I've taught multiple times. I said it last night. It's crazy how the Lord continues to give revelation on things that you might have known or taught, but you have a now different perspective on it because he gives you a new revelation about it. But this is something, a little more. I'll get that bottom out. This is something that the Lord really has been impressed on me. There you go. Just balance it. You the woman. Matthew 25 and 14. Matthew 25 and 14. Matthew 25 and 14. And I'm going to read this. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far-off country who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded them and made another 5. He doubled it. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. And after a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5, but look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. And his Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Wow. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Then he who had received the 1, I skipped verse 22 and 23 because the same happened for the one who had 2. He doubled and made 4, and God pronounced the same blessing upon him. But in verse 24, let's go on there. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid. I was fearful, and I went and I hid the talent in the ground. And look, here it is. You have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said to him, hey, Mr. Knox, hey, Just Z, said to him, you wicked and lazy servant. Whoa. You know that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. You know what I'm used to. You know my character. You know who it is. You know what I was expecting. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at least at my coming I would have received back my own with interest, at least. He says, so take the talent from him, take the 1,000 from him, take the money from him, take the resources from him, take the giftings from him, take the ability from him, and give it to him who has doubled what I gave him. For to everyone who has, this is where it seems like it's unfair. For to everyone who has, more will be given. Because everybody wants to be fair, abundant, balanced. Why you get more? And I ain't got but a little bit and you take that. For everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who doesn't have anything or does not have, even what he has, man, that sounds harsh. That sounds like something on mine. Even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That got real bad real quick. I want to talk today, as we talk about this series, Tested. I want to talk from this subject. I know it said he. I hope you change that for me. If God can't test you, or if he can't test you, he can't use you. I'm going to have to change that. I just saw it in my notes, Chris. I made a typo there. If God can't test you, he can't use you. Whew. I need somebody to be bold enough to just type that. If God can't test me, he can't use me. I know we don't want to say it, but I want us to embrace it. Because that's why there are some things you just got to simply go through. Okay, I'm sorry. We learned from that last month. We don't go through nothing anymore. We grow through everything. I said last month that I'll always change that phrase for the rest of my life. Well, I'm just going through. I no longer go through. God gave me that revelation that everything I experience is growth. So I don't go through nothing. I grow through everything. And there's some things that we just got to experience because there's some things we got to grow through. But I told y'all at the beginning of the week, when somebody has a test in mind, there's always promotion in mind. When somebody has a test for something, if you want to test something, there is a larger plan of distribution. It's not enough just to create it. It's not enough just to build it. There has to be some testing mechanisms to make sure that it is a good representation of who you are as the creator. It is an unjust and unwise, unethical business person who just throws stuff out in production and puts stuff on tables and sells it, and they are not sure that it works like it says it should. Nobody with good business acumen is going to do that. Definitely nobody should do that from a spiritual perspective. God is not going to put you on stages with his name, not going to put us on stages that represent his name, and he's not sure that it's going to function properly. You got to understand, if you're one who runs from tests, you're actually running from promotion. If you're one that always backs up when things get tough and never sticks things out, you're actually asking for the cycle to be repeated. I want us to be clear about that. It's not coming out of your mouth, but it's being produced with your actions. And I want us to understand what we're saying. So when we talk about this thing, man, we said what it means to be to have a test. What is a test? It is a procedure intended to establish the quality, performance, and or reliability of something. Listen to me, especially before it is taken into widespread use. That is such a good, clear definition as to why God handles us the way he handles us. There has to be some type of procedure, situation, circumstance to establish the quality, the performance, and the reliability of who we are, especially before it is taken into widespread use. You know, I've learned to appreciate God letting me fall off of small platforms. I've learned to appreciate some things that have not come to pass yet when God begins to reveal some things that have not yet been buttoned up in me. And I'm glad he can work the kinks out in the testing center before it's exposed on large stages widespread. Some of y'all need to be thankful for that too, because you thought you was ready for something until you was exposed to something you thought you was delivered from, and it took you in a spiral that you never thought you would be in. And God still covered it. And nobody knew, or not a lot of people knew, how you really felt and how it really affected you, because you were still in the QA section of development. You have not yet been distributed to the masses. And God's going to do it. He just got to test some things in you first and work out some kinks. Listen to me. A test is the examination of a person's proficiency or knowledge. It's not enough to say we got it. It's got to be tested. It is an event or situation that reveals the strength, capabilities, or quality of something or someone by putting them under strain. We used to say it like this when coming up: pressure bust pipes. When we was competing with each other, oh, somebody choke under pressure. Yeah, pressure bust pipes. Everything is wonderful until pressure is applied. Everything works great until pressure is applied. Everything is smooth until pressure is applied. But anything that's worth anything is built and produced under pressure. Terry, I like that word, pressure. How do you handle? Listen, the Lord had me go through some stuff the other day emotionally, and I'm sitting here, and he literally, after I got, couple calls, couple things of bad news, one after the other, and I heard the Spirit clearly say, when I was trying to, in my emotions, start to sulk a little bit, I heard the Spirit say, what you gonna do? How you gonna respond? What does this mean for you as it relates to what you believe in? It was almost like they were like, okay, the pressure's here. Okay, you got the bad news, but who are you? Are you the news you just received, or are you the overcomer? Are you gonna switch up? Are you gonna pass this test? Lord, I love you. Lord, I love you. Come on. A test means a means of establishing whether an action, item, or situation is an instance of specified quality. In other words, it is an action or situation that proves something is what it says it is. It means a trial, a check, an examination, an assessment, an evaluation, an appraisal, an investigation, an inspection, a scrutinization, a probe, an audition, a tryout. Whoa. This is what Jesus was doing. This is what the scripture was talking about in this parable. He was actually putting these three guys on a tryout. He was auditioning how they would handle the gifts they were given. Oh, let's go back to that word appraisal. A test is an appraisal. Okay, I just heard this in my spirit when I said that, because a lot of us, okay, not all of us can attest to this, but some of us can, that are homeowners. Whether you're buying a house or whether you're selling a house, most times the homeowner is going to think their house is worth more than what it really is. And that's why there's a system called the appraiser, because you don't get a chance to just tell me what the house is worth without somebody who's qualified coming in and looking at the actual worth of a thing that is not emotionally attached and is not something that is a desire or a dream, but it is something that is actual factual. Yes, Apostle Keller, every time, most times bad news, because we don't see the big picture. We just see the news. We don't see how it was working together. Okay, let me just say this. I wasn't going, this just hit my spirit. So if any, I'm not saying no names, not talking about nobody, but I'm just going to say this. I mentioned to y'all last night about the bus, about how we get a whole new AC unit, over $4,000 of repair. So watch how God does this news. So that was one of the things that I was dealing with last week, because as pastors, people don't realize, people just come to church and expect things to be in place. But as leaders, we carry all of that. We carry the maintenance, we carry the upkeep, we carry things breaking, we carry things need to be replaced, we carrying all this other stuff that other folks just come and expect things to happen. So we carry that weight. Not making excuses, it's just what it is. And so let me tell you what God does. So we had somebody who did some work for us some time ago, probably back in December. And it was some things that had been discussed, and they were saying, hey, the work that they didn't work out the way we thought it would. And so they're supposed to get back with us. Well, they hadn't got back with us since December. What is it? That's 4 months, right? And so one of the other bad situations that happened was some of the stuff that they did. And so I called them on it, and we had this big rainstorm, and I found out this room that I told you last night that we just remodeled was wet. The floor was wet. So I had to call them back after not speaking to them for 4 months. Hear me, listen, about another job that they're supposed to call me on. And I think they didn't want to really face that because of some stuff. Watch this. That situation, after contacting them, they mentioned the Lord had been dealing with them about settling from the last time. So they brought me a reimbursement. They brought me a reimbursement, which was right on time, from a job that they did, which was money I could put to getting the van fixed. And it took a bad situation, just what you said, Apostle Keller, that struck up an opportunity for me to uncover hidden provision that would take care of a current need. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. I need y'all to hear me. We think it's happenstance, but it's the timing and it's the orchestration of God. And God put two other people, one person, when they found out about the van, they said, me and my wife going to give $1,000 to it. I had that situation come up, and then the Lord brought one other person that really supported the ministry, said, call them and ask them to help. I called them, and I was astonished at the seed they gave me. With three people, it was almost paid in full. And I was about to go into a whole spiral and lose out on a response and a blessing and not pass the test. When God had already worked it out, and he already had the people in place to take care of what has happened, and it wasn't as big as the enemy was trying to make it in my spirit. I don't mind being transparent to help you. But I had to go through that, and God says, "No, don't you fail this. Don't you move. What you gonna do? You've been in my word, you've been in my face, you've been teaching. What you gonna do?" Okay. Somebody needed to hear that. Because what you think is big right now in your life is 2 people away, 2 contacts away, 1 phone call away. Come on. 1 remembrance away from it all being wiped out. Yeah. Let me give you this. Here's what God was doing with these three servants. He says, I need to test you because I want to partner with you. I want to work with you. I want to use you. I want to promote you. But I got to see how you're going to handle what I put in your hand. I need to see how you're going to handle what I put in your hand. And God is telling somebody today, you complaining about what you don't have, but I'm still trying to figure out if you're going to maximize what I put in your hand. I need to see if you're going to fully exhaust what you have instead of constantly complaining about what you don't have. If you exhaust what you do have, and it's not enough, then you can come to me. But you can't look at it and say it ain't enough before you even try to work it. If the disciples would have looked at Jesus and talking about, what are we going to do with these 2 fish and these 5 loaves? There's more than 5,000-6,000 people out here. I ain't serving this to them and looking embarrassed. If they wouldn't have tried to work it, they would have never seen the increase and the miracle happen in front of their face. They had to move of what was in their hand. Woo! See, a lot of us are hesitant because we looking at it and saying it ain't enough before we even try. You ain't even moved with it. You ain't even started. Come on. You ain't even gave God a chance to stretch it. You ain't even gave him a chance to provide miracles for it. You just looked at it and say, this is it? What I'm going to do with this? Because you're looking at what somebody else have. You're looking at what somebody else is starting with. Come on. And man, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the most frustrating things for a leader with vision is to see somebody able to do their vision because they got the finances. The Lord had to show me. I'm not judging you and testing you based on what you don't have. And I don't need you to look at what somebody else do have. I need you to maximize what I put in your hand and who's in front of you and make sure you are doubling the resources you have. Woo! And if you do that, promotion is yours. I'm telling somebody right now, stop comparing. Be great on your level. Be great where you are. Pass your test with the small things so he can give you rulership over much more. My first point is this, and I've been talking about it. Here's what we got to understand from the text. It is always according to our own ability. It is always according to what God's given us. He is not equally comparing you. You're not being compared to the one who has triple with you, because you don't know what they started. And I talk about church a lot because I'm a pastor when I'm not coaching on this platform, but I'm a pastor of a church. And sometimes I look at myself and God say, why are you comparing yourself with somebody who got 5,000 members? I'm not comparing you with them. You don't know where they started. You don't know how they started. You don't know what was given to them to start. You don't know how they was able to build that. You don't know what was their circumstances. You don't know what they had to come from. You don't know. What I am comparing you with is, okay, you had 200 this year. What you going to have next year? I want to see 400. I want you to double what I gave you. You got 300 now. Let's get to 6. Right? You got 5. You got 3 people who are passionately with you. Let's duplicate that and try to make that 6 this time next year. Don't worry about your whole team that ain't with you. You got 2 people that you can count on. Can you flip that into 4? Instead of being concerned, I only got 2 people. I can't do this, God. You gave me all this vision, and you only gave me 2 people who with me. And I got all these team of people who don't do what they're supposed to do. They're not accountable to anything. I can't do nothing. I don't have the leadership team. And I look at everybody else's church, and they got 12, 15 people that is doing what they need to do. God said, you looking at somebody else's team. I didn't tell you to look at somebody else's anything. Okay, that's me. But you got your own story too. You may not have the mic, you may not have the floor, but I'm talking about mine. You thinking about yours. What is it that you're comparing yourself with because you feel like you are unequipped and you're coming to the floor with not the same opportunities as somebody that you are comparing and competing with? Don't you know how you handle what you have is being tested? Well, I started rough. They didn't start in the same house I did. They mom and daddy was with them. I grew up with my grandma. Don't you think God know that? I had a lot of trauma as a kid, so there's a lot of stuff I had to get through. And somebody else, didn't have the struggles I came through. They went to college and they got scholarships and people paid their way. And when they got out of school, their mama bought them their first house. I had to come up and struggle, and everything I got, I had to build and get on my own. Don't you think that God knows that? And he's not comparing you to the circumstances of somebody else. You are. He wants you, though, to maximize even from a hard place. I'm going to watch how they flip where they are. Whew. It's always according to your own ability. Listen to me. Verse 15, he gave 1 5 talents. He gave 1 2, and talents just mean money. Means, in one translation it says 5,000. Another one 2,000. And then another one, he gave 1. Listen to me. Here's the piece of this text that makes everything level and equal. This statement makes everything equal playing field no matter what. He says, to each according to his own ability. 1 had 5 because he could handle 5 in that time in his life. 1 had 2 because the master had already watched him and watched his characteristics and watched where he was and watched where he came from. And 2 was a good portion for him. 1 had 1 because the master knew he could only handle 1 in the season. What he put in their hand was not overwhelming for their ability. They had the capability to flip it if they had the right mindset. In the New Living Translation at verse 15, it says this: he divided it in proportion to their abilities. Listen to me. I need all of us to hear this, and I'm including myself in all of us. God does not set us up to fail. Let me sit right there. God did not set you up to fail. Where you are right now, He already placed in you the resources, the abilities, and the capabilities to maximize and double your potential. If you didn't have what you need to get done where you've been placed, he would have never placed you there. The fact that he placed you there says he already was aware of your ability to function and thrive in that environment. So if I got pastors that are on here, it's not the church, because he would have never placed you at that church if he didn't think you could grow it. If it's somebody who's business owner over here, it's not the location, because he would have never told you to go to the location if he didn't think you can draw business from that location. I don't care what it is that you're doing that you think is overwhelming. This ain't gonna work. I got to do something else. I got to do. No. If we're honest, we have not taken seriously what's in our hands and where we are and where we've been placed, and focused on making that work. Most of us are guilty with laying what we have down because it doesn't look like what somebody else is thriving in. Let me sit right there. Here's what I've come to learn about God. Whatever he requires back, he always gives first. God ain't asking for you to do anything that you don't have the capacity to do. Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's ability, whether it's wisdom, whether it's goodness, whether it's service. Before he ever asks of it, he always gives it first. When God asks for some stuff, there's never, I can't, Lord. That's not the answer. The answer is I don't want to, most cases. And he always equips us before he requires from us. Ooh, that was good. He always equips from you before he requires from you. You are equipped to do it. Do you have a mind to do it? Listen, when he made this statement, I've given each according to his own ability, you know what happened? Double meant different for each one of them. Double would produce different amounts, but double, while it meant different for each one of them, it meant the same thing to the master, because he knew what he gave them to start with. He knew y'all didn't start off with the same. He knew you didn't start off at the same place, with the same opportunities, with the same resources, with the same backing, with the same support. He knew, and he ain't comparing that. Double for you means double for them, but it's still equal in his eye. It was not about the amount. It was about maximizing their ability. And I'm telling you right now, it is not about the amount that you produce. It is not about the quantity as relates to how other people see you. It's about maximizing your abilities and maximizing your opportunities. I want you to be the best you in the face of everybody else being the best them. And that's going to look different. The results are going to be different. But God knows y'all started at different places. So let's move. Number 2. What was number 1? It is always according to your own ability. I need you to understand that. God is testing that, though. Number 2, we are always given what is necessary to pass the test. Always. I said a little earlier, he never requires what he hadn't gave. Listen to me. Verse 24 says this. Then he who had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you were a hard man, reaping where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. Don't miss that revelation. The one who had 1 talent and went and buried it and didn't even try, he had intel that it would not be enough. He was fearful though. Listen, he already knew the expectation of his master. He knew the style. He knew what his master wanted. He knew the expectation of what was required. He knew what he would come back and want to receive. I need y'all to hear this. He knew the expectation, but it was fear, it was doubt, and it was the safe mindset that caused him to ignore what he knew. I want to ask 10 people right now, why are you ignoring what you know? Why are you ignoring what you know to fight to stay the same? Why are you allowing fear to keep you from pursuing something you know God is telling you to pursue? Why are you allowing doubt to cause you to play it safe when you heard God clearly say this is the season of bold moves? See, it wasn't for the lack of information, and it wasn't for the lack of revelation. But there was something still gripping this one with one talent, even though he knew greater was calling him forward. And I'm speaking to a lot of you who don't have a lot in your hand, but God is still calling you to be bold with it. Whew, I felt something hit that. I'm speaking to a lot of you who's looking at what's in your hand and saying, this is only one, this is only a little bit, I ain't got much to do. Come on, somebody. I ain't got what everybody else has. I'm telling you, God is calling you to be bold with it. You have the revelation. He's already given you the information. He's already told you what he wants you to do. Come on, somebody. Don't play it safe. Don't live a life, come on, that is going to bury your talent, bury your ability. Come on, so you won't mess up, so you won't fall short, so you won't look crazy. Because of those fears, you ain't even trying. You are burying what God gave you. You are trying to hold on, come on, and maintain. Let me tell you, one of the biggest statements that has always held us back. When we was coming up, we was like, hey, bro, how you doing? And we say, maintaining. Y'all still say it. Some of y'all still say it right now. Bro, what's going on with you? Man, ain't nothing maintaining. That ain't godly. Maintaining ain't godly. Idle living is not godly. Holding on to old stuff is not godly. He's calling us to be bold in this season. You've been afraid to move too long. You've been afraid to start too long. You've been afraid to even see if it'll work too long. You've been burying it. You've been covering it. You've been hibernating it. You've been sitting on it. You've been afraid to even try it. Come on. We don't even know what God can do with our talents. We don't even know what God can do with our gifting. We don't even know what he can do what he's put in our hand because we've been playing it so safe because we're so scared to make a mistake that we'll bury it before we invest it. And God is saying, I can't get with that kind of mentality because that ain't my heart. That is not my character. I didn't build a world that nobody could see from nothing into something out of playing it safe. That ain't how I got you to be who you are. I didn't create by playing it safe. I don't do miracles by playing it safe. I don't work wonders by playing it safe. Right? Let's move. Number 3. I need you to understand this. It is God's desire to partner with you. That's why he got to test you. Because it's his desire to partner with you. I told you, whenever there's a test in mind, there's always promotion in mind first. Verse 20 says this, so he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, listen, Lord, you delivered me 5 talents, and look, I have gained 5 more talents beside them. And his Lord said to him, listen to what his Lord said to him. Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over the few things I gave you access to, and I will make you ruler over many things. Oh, remember I told you the other day that there's some levels are only unlocked through testing? He unlocks a level. He says, now enter. Ooh, if he can enter into something, that means he didn't have access before. Oh, Lord. He says, now enter into the joy of your Lord. Into another realm that everybody can't come. It's only the ones who've been proven in testing that can get into this, right? In the New Living Translation, it states it like this. It says, you have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Ooh, then he invites them to a private party. There it is again. He says, so let's now celebrate together. You've earned the right to walk with me in a higher level. Because I see my characteristics on you. And that was proven based on how you handled the test. Look at what it says in the Message Bible. We moving. The Message Bible says like this. It says, his master commended him. Rufus, this is where I got it from. His master commended him, saying, good work. You did your job well. From now on, here's access to something else. Here we go. Be my partner. Ooh, that was so good. You mean we can actually partner with God, getting things done on the earth? He's looking for a business partner. He's looking for somebody he can invest in. He wants to be a silent investor. Or he wants to be an investor into a process. He wants to get behind something that you're doing. He wants to boost and push your affairs. But he didn't put his name on anything until it was proven in testing. He wants to know, listen to me, here's what our Lord wants to know. He wants to know that you think like he thinks. That little is made much when it's put in the master's hand. He wants to know that you will be faithful like he is faithful. He wants to know that you'll be bold like he's bold. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it all month. Promotion was the desire from the beginning. Even though testing was a part of the process, promotion was always the first thought on the mind of God. Last point, I'm going to let you go. And here's the piece that some people are going to have to swallow. Matter of fact, truth is, all of us going to have to swallow it, whether we like what it tastes like or not. The test determines what happens next. I'm just putting it all in the Lord's hands. Wait a minute. The Lord put it in your hands when he put you through the test. What happens next is not in his hands, it's in your hands. Because those who handled the test right, he responded based on their actions. Those who handled the test wrong, the result came based on their actions. The test determines what happens next. What do you mean by this, coach? Listen to this. Verse 29 says, for to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. Listen what this says in the other translations. New Living Translation says this. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given. He doesn't give them even more just because he wants to show favoritism. He gives even more because they used well what they've been given. It was their choice to use it well, which brought about the different result. And they will have abundance because I'm going to add to them because they showed they can do it well because they did it well with a little bit. So I'm going to add to them so they can keep doing it well. But from those who do nothing, you hiding it, you burying it, you sitting on your gift, you stalling, you waiting, you nervous, you making excuses, you comparing, buying time. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. God can't bless doing nothing. When I was in school, nothing from nothing equals nothing. I don't care what you put. If you put zero to it, it becomes zero. If you're adding zero to something, it can't grow. Okay, all right. Amplified version says this: for to everyone who has, watch this, this is key. Lean in to me, give me 2 minutes. Lean in here. For to everyone who has and values his blessings and gifts from God. Instagram, you got to hear that. To everyone who values and his gifts and blessings from God and has used them wisely, more will be given. And he will be richly supplied so that he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, hear me, because he has ignored and disregarded his blessings and gifts from God, even what he does have will be taken away. I want to speak this off of you today. No longer will you disregard and ignore the blessings God has given you because it looks small in your hand compared to what's in somebody else's hand. No longer. Because when you do that, you run the risk of even the little you have will be taken away. He can only do with you that you have proven. The test, and I'm done, determines if you get more or if you have to start over. The test always determines what happens next. I need y'all to hear me, and we're done. If God can't test you, he can't use you. It's your word for today. Father, we thank you for this moment. We thank you for this time. We thank you for another opportunity to declare you are good, that you are God. Have your way in this place. Move by your spirit. Give us wisdom. Give us the ability to retain and to hold what it is that you are saying to us in this season. Give us the fortitude to handle testing well, knowing that promotion is always in the mind of the tester. We bless you for it. We give you praise. In Jesus' name, amen. The fact that you're watching me, the fact that you're listening to me is a sign that God is not finished with you yet. And because he gave you a new day, he gave you new mercy. Take what he gave you and win what's in front of you. Winners win. That's who you are. Go be who you are. Do what you do. Win your day. And I'll see you tomorrow on Friday. God bless you, family. Peace.